Morning. Good morning. Let's see, what time is it? It's 7:07 a.m. and we are back in the Dublin Cemetery. That's the historic church. That's here. That's the old schoolhouse straight back there. And this is where all the old bones are buried. This is an unplanned, spontaneous live stream, and I think what I'm just going to do is talk about what I talked about yesterday, which was my channeling session from the night before. And and look, I can't leave out the reason I'm awake and here this early. Okay, my channeling session last night. So I, again, continuing to work on my NaNoWriMo, which I should call, let's see, NaNoMemro, because it's more like a memoir style writing I'm doing. I'm not really trying to write a novel this year. National memoir writing. NaMiRo, national memoir. NaMiWriMo, that's it. NaMiWriMo, National Memoir Writing Month. Okay, now we got it. Okay, so these early chapters I'm writing, I'm digging up memories from my childhood, trying to find darkness, trying to find the ways that I entered into or got exposed to darkness. And so far it's been emotional darkness that's been triggered. My original idea was to look for my sins, my intentional descents into darkness, and I think I will get to those when I get to more older parts of my life, like in my teens or something. But so far from my childhood, it's been emotionally traumatic exposures to darkness that I've been coming across. Okay, so the memory that got triggered last night, it was actually a mixture. It was emotional trauma. Ooh, look at the sunshine coming through there. That was cool. Sun just rose like 10 minutes ago. Last night's memory was an experience of something mean that I did to my little brother. So he was probably in kindergarten, which would have made me, I'm 3 years older than him. I would have been about 8 years old. He would have been about 5. And I did this mean trick where I took the shoelaces off of his... We're going to sit here with this guy. I took the shoelaces off of his shoes, and we had this floor heater kind of thing. We got a viewer. I don't know if you're a human or not, so hello. If you're a human, say something. I'm just going to keep talking what I'm talking about. Okay, so I took the shoelaces off of my 5-year-old brother's shoes, and I stuck them into the floor heater that goes down like 3 feet under the floor. And then my dad, he's like, we got to get the kids ready for school. Where's your shoes, little guy? He brings his shoes. There's no shoelaces. Where's your shoelaces? And he goes, he doesn't even want to say it. He points down to the furnace. And Dad I don't say anything, but Dad goes, "Oh my God, why did you do that?" And this is back in the 60s when we used to get spanked, and he got a good spanking that morning. And there I am, all gleeful. Oh, I wielded some power. Oh, terrible. I still, well, I don't feel as guilty about it now as I did yesterday when I was writing this, because the healing session that I did after I wrote this part of my story last night, I went in to try and clear it. So I hate to say, oh, I'm psychic, because everybody is psychic. I'm no more special at being psychic than anybody else is, except that I practice. I practice using my psychic abilities. So I've learned a lot of things over the last many years, and you can just learn from what other people do, and there's lessons, there's books, there's all kinds of stuff that you can learn from. I like to learn from watching what other people do. Like, there's a couple of mediums that I'm fans of on YouTube, and I see how they work, and I go, oh, I'm going to try and mimic that. And that you learn by doing. So anyway, what I did last night was I went into the Akashic Records, back in time to that very room in our house that we lived in back in the 60s, and I ask for protection before I start my sessions. I ask for archangels to protect me. I have spirit guides and ancestors come in and work with me, and I got to see the scene. Here's what I was surprised by. I had a little inkling of a thought that, was I, at that age, was I really that devious and cruel to think up something like that to do to hurt my brother? And I kind of doubted that I was. So when I'm in this space in the Akashic Records, somebody said, look around the room. And I saw this little, like, energy ball. It was dark, it was black. In fact, I'm sitting underneath a walnut tree here. Hold on a second. Oh my God, this is perfect. It was about this size. This is, and that's what I said. Oh my God, it's a walnut. Why is there a walnut floating in my bedroom? And so my guides walked me over to this thing that's floating in the corner, and we looked at it. Oh my God, and it was like I could see two little eyes. It looks like a little face. I could see eyes looking out of it at me. And so we said, okay, this is the missing piece of this story that you've been looking for. And so, you just kind of have to sit and listen. That's why they say that meditation is important, to be able to develop your skills. If you have your mind chatter going on, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between what your own mind is creating and the psychic impressions that you're intoning. And so we observed this little energy ball, and it was not healthy. It was not putting off good vibes. And we determined that it was a ghost. It was the leftover spectral energy of somebody that had lived in this house before we moved into it. And it had turned into a trickster. It took on the personality of a here's some new residents, here's some little kids, I'm going to mess around with their heads. I'm going to tell the older brother, hey, let's do something mean to the little brother. And we called it out. We said, dude, that game is over. Here's the weird thing. Okay, I'm talking about an incident. Excuse me, I'm going to lose my voice soon, so I'm going to have to stop. an incident that happened 60 years ago. And, well, I was going to say the energy is still there. Maybe it's not, because we're in the Akashic Record looking at the historical event. So, yeah, it could still be there, but we took care of removing it from that place at that time. Once we sent it out of that space, and in fact my archangels, I think it was Raziel, gave this little energy thing a healing, and it popped. It popped, and it was like it turned to dust, and the energy escaped, and I felt pretty assured that whoever was in that got ascended at that moment. Okay, I'm going to let this go. And then once it was gone, the whole scene changed. The energy in the room changed. It all of a sudden felt light, and people were happy and smiling, and my dad wasn't mad anymore. And yeah, so you can do this. You can do this. And so, you know, it takes time once we come back into our real body time frame to feel the full repercussions of a healing like that. So, you know, I might get a message from my brother today, and I don't know, he might say something that will indicate to me that he felt the energy shift, and I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I'm talking too long. Dublin Cemetery, Dublin, California. This is Bear. He's a little Javanese. And, oh, let me show you who we were sitting with here. Heinrich and Therese, as well as Katharina. Boy, she was old, 90 years old, and very, oh, can't predict when I'll be back to do this again. Actually, I'm in town here for the next 2 or 3 days, so I might come back here, and if I do, it'll be in the morning like this. So come on back, or become a follower. Okay, bye. Puppy's pulling. Quit pulling. We're gonna go now.